Welcome. Lighting okay? Is he okay? We're going to start with the addicts. I warned you enough. Every unit in this building, 7555 Goreway Drive, I'm in 47. It is 5 o'clock. You want to sit here and talk about money financial abuse? You have money? I don't have a job. Now you're going to pay for it, addicts. No, I want to hear all the addicts now. Where do they get their money, the addicts? Start with this building. You going to have fun? You're going to see how long my internet lasts. We're going to show them how much fun it is. We're going to do a live stream from the hallway today on financial abuse and the pimps trying to get my channel canceled. Yeah, take a good look. All the addicts in here. All the addicts in here. One by one, right? Every one of them. You called the police on me. I had narcotics in my unit. Now take a good look at the building. I warned them. One by one, right? My name and my business. Make sure you know where you are. You want visitors coming in, you're responsible, right? You want to see the other side? The broken door? Yeah, I'm making sure. Human trafficking, right? I'm making sure. I could do the whole live stream from out there. Should I do the whole live stream from the hallway? Would that be fun for the building? Would they get a better sense of who lives here if I did it from the hallway, the whole hour? You know, I have trash on my lens. It always comes around, the trash on my lens. I can't see clearly. We're going to teach it tonight. Well, they keep texting my phone, right? So we're going to financially abuse them back now. Since they keep making fun of I have no money, right? I'm poor. So we're going to teach them. We're going to financially abuse them. First, we're going to stop all of them from going to the food bank, right? You getting free food? Grown adults? Then we're going to stop them from hanging out, right? Especially if they're drinking and doing drugs. They want to learn about financial abuse. So I'm going to teach you now. Telling me about being poor. Now I'm going to show you what it's like. Yeah, there's showers at the community center. I want them all to experience, all the women, the same experience I had when they have to take a shower at the community center. All the men. You like taking pictures of people? You like using your phones? You go and take a shower there now. Ever hear anybody want to come take a shower in whose apartment? They need favors? You're going to get favors now. Clothes. How about clothes? You like complaining about people's clothes, right? Okay, let me see how many people I can teach. If I take all their clothes and donate them the same way, how long you going to stay with one pair of pants before you need to wash it? One pair of socks, one pair of underwear. Oh, I'm not joking. Look at me again. Just remember you asked for this. I'm poor, right? You're going to learn now. They want to be victims, right? So we're going to teach them. We're going to teach them how to be victims of financial abuse. Oh, go ahead. What else? Water? When they can't take a shower? When you can't brush your teeth? How are we going to teach them? How are they going to learn good? No more makeup? Same way you did to me? What else? Well, their food. How do they get food? We'll stop their food. We'll sleep abuse them. Why not? That's when you don't let them sleep. Sleep abuse. Remember you showing me videos? That's when you don't let them sleep to abuse them. We're going to be the abusers, right? You keep accusing me of being a narcissist, so I'm going to do it now. I'm going to teach Malton what it's like to be a victim. You want to tell people about being poor? I'm going to show you what it's like now. Yeah, let's cut expenses. Let's cut the phone bill. How about we cut their phone off? Do the parents pay for the phone? You pay for your own phone? Does your husband or wife pay for your phone? You want to learn about how entitled and pampered they are. You don't need a phone. What do you need a phone for? You need food, right? And a roof over your head. Go, let's hear. Winter's coming. You need winter boots and a winter coat. And I'm going to try to stop the childcare benefit, lower it, just like you were doing, right? With everything. Every month you wanted more, more, more. So I'm going to start petitioning to lower it. Let your kids learn to live the same way you did. Get a job. Same way you're telling me, right? About being poor. I want to take it out on them now. Christmas is coming. I want you all to suffer. Just like you did for COVID, right? Locking people in. Can't get nothing. You have to go yourself. What are you going to do? Order it and let them deliver it? No Christmas this year. None of you. We're going to be Robin Hood. We're going to steal from the rich and give to the poor, right? Because I'm poor. Turn me into a revenge person. Watch what I do. You haven't seen me mean. I told you. You won't come back if I'm mean. So now get ready. What is the date today? September 23rd. We're going to ruin their Christmas in Malton. Just like you did to me last year. What's Christmas about? You explain good what Christmas is about. And you take a good look around you and what you did. Every comment I told you, you're going to get it back now. Because you have to learn what it's like telling people they're poor. You have to go without for a couple years. Nothing except the clothes you're wearing and the food that you need, right? So you won't drop. That's not 3 meals a day, right? That's maybe once a week you get food. Okay? Starvation, actual starvation. Actual hunger. That's when you get food. You're not hungry every day. When you need it, when you're hungry, you get food. And we're working on taking from everybody in Malton. First, the phones, all the luxuries. They have TVs, PlayStations, all that extra luxury, the addictions, right? Their kids are addicted to phones. They can't do nothing. They can't stop them. They have no control over them. So let's teach them. Kids don't need phones. I told you that already, and they're banned in school. So the adults now. Half of you don't pay your bills. You're in debt. So what does it matter? What's your priority? Pay your credit card? What do you make an hour with your job? All the full-time working. You have the luxury of working a full-time job. All of them. Let's hear. How much do you make an hour? Well, you don't need a Christmas tree, right? That's not a necessity as long as you have food for Christmas, right? Like you said, Christmas is about what? The birth of our Lord and Savior. So you don't need presents, right? You go visit your family and you celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I want to hear where the homeless are going to go for Thanksgiving, where they're going to be grateful for getting a meal. Where do you do that in Malton? You don't go anywhere? There's nowhere to go on Thanksgiving in Malton if you're homeless? Or if you just want food? Yeah, look at me. Let me hear you again, Malton. Where do you go on Thanksgiving to get a free meal so you don't have to pay for all that food? Imagine if you had to buy a whole turkey and vegetables and stuffings and cranberry sauce for one person. You'd be crying, wouldn't you? I am going to show you. You're going to all go calculate how much it's going to cost you for one person for Thanksgiving dinner. By the time Thanksgiving comes around, I'm going to make up for the fundraiser I had last year when you were ungrateful. Remember, that was Mississauga Food Banks? So I'm going to make up this year. You can't be hungry if you're working, right? You can't still need a food bank. There's no way you still need a food bank. Your kids can't be hungry. The child care was raised, so they can't be using the food bank either. So let me hear this again. Who's leeching off who? You want to talk to other people about what? Being poor? While you're going to the food bank? You're going to free Thanksgiving dinners? You're going to churches and getting free clothing? Free winter coats, free boots? That's real good, right? Well, maybe I should start telling you more times a day. Wow, most churches do a dinner service for homeless people. That's real good. Have you tried acting? No, I tried calculating a budget. Why don't we calculate a budget for Malton? What are you buying for Thanksgiving, Malton? We're all going to calculate it together for the next live stream. Yeah, we're going to all get on the same page with money, Malton, once and for all. What do you have for Thanksgiving turkey? Oh, it's going to be one you're never going to forget in your life. What other things? Potatoes? Vegetables? Stuffings? Cranberry sauce? What else? Wheat. I filmed all your cars today. I want all your license plates. You want strangers coming in here? I have to live here. This is my house, my apartment. So I filmed all of them and all your license plates. Gravy. I forgot gravy. I always plan pecan pie or butter tarts. I'll make them. But that never works out. I'm thankful I didn't report anybody, like the addicts, to the police and actually put them in jail or worse, in the grave. That's what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful I didn't beat anybody. What are you thankful for? Let's start early. Maybe we can get to all of Malton by the time Thanksgiving rolls around. What are you thankful for? Your mother and father? What are you thankful for? Your children? Money? What are you thankful for? Food? Alcohol? What are you thankful for? Let's take a quick survey. What are you thankful for right now in Malton? You couldn't beat anyone. You were like 90 pounds and you don't scare anyone who isn't a child. Sima Seukeran. Like I said, right? You come here and put things like that. When I come and record you, this is the actual people and the children in this building, right? I am sick and tired of telling them. Nothing. What? What do you think is going to change? Are you demented here? Why? Why would I have to live with you? Okay, back to Thanksgiving budgeting. Well, you're all rich, so let's hear. What do you buy? Gold flakes? Well, go, let's hear. What are you going to have for dinner? Ham? What do they usually have at the dinner at the churches? I could tell you call for shelter, but they abused me out of having that dinner too. I didn't get to have it, remember? They're religious. Saints even. So what do you get at the churches for Thanksgiving dinner? Ham or turkey? It's a traditional standard Thanksgiving dinner. Now, do you see the two-facedness in that one? Ham or turkey? It's a traditional standard Thanksgiving dinner. Half of you didn't even know what Thanksgiving was and what it was for. Do you remember that in 2019? What is Thanksgiving for? Why do you celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada? To be grateful for what? The harvest? The harvest of what? Food? That doesn't make sense. You're laughing? Oh, you know what Thanksgiving is? You don't need an explanation? Well, you live in Canada calling me what? Racist everything? Why shouldn't I teach you? You all know what Thanksgiving is. No, I'm fed up with garbage. I'm not high. I'm fed up with the garbage that lives here. Entitled garbage. Do you understand? I'm on ODSP. You're running to the food bank and telling me I'm poor. Why shouldn't I show you every time? Well, let me hear. Why are you still homeless? Why didn't you get a job? Why are you still going and drinking alcohol at the alcohol store if you have children? Why does the gas station still sell alcohol? You have a beer store and a liquor store. What are you trying to make Malton into? That's the reality, right? Every corner is alcohol. Your children, how old do you think they're going to be before they start drinking? You what? Having meetings for what? We're still talking about money, narcissists and money, right? They want all the money, they spend it, and then they have none. They take from everybody else and they keep theirs. Which narcissist do you know? Which kind of Money hungry narcissist do you know? Like I said, we're going to teach Molten, right? You've been using the word for 6 years. So now you have to learn. You wanted to play victims. Now you have to learn how to be a victim. No, every day in Molten. Every time they have a church meeting and they offer free anything, I'm going to point it out. Maybe if you had to pay for your own stuff, you wouldn't be talking to other people, right? Maybe if you didn't get childcare benefit and your parents had to pay for you, you wouldn't be so entitled. They can't be complaining about they can't pay their mortgage and somebody else is paying for their kids, right? If you can't afford kids, you shouldn't have them, right? Nobody else is put here to pay for your kids. 6 years, yeah, I'll remind you. You're talking about the word respect. What does respect mean? Anybody know what the word respect means? How about addiction? How about abuse? Let's go over what kind of abuses are there that you know. Name as many as you can, all the different kinds of abuses that you know right now. No, I don't respect my neighbors. How many kinds of abuses did you get? Physical? Emotional? Mental? Did anybody see the press conference today with Peel Regional Police? What was it? A symposium? I forgot what it was. On victims and survivors or something like that? Did anybody watch it? Did anybody listen to it? What did you hear when you listened to it? Yeah, it was the same hour as my live stream, remember? What did you hear when you listened to it? You're talking about Take Back the Night, right? There was a lady on there who said she was at Take Back the Night. Oh, as I'm sitting here in this building, right? I'm laughing at all of it. You guys are the ones, right? You wanted to block me out when you had Take Back the Night. You didn't want me there. How many services were there? That's the same. Malton Women's Council. How many of them? And then you showed up at the press conference telling the police what? Well, what are actual victims supposed to do? You didn't want them anywhere, it seemed like, right? At the press conference. You arranged it where and when for who? Did you? Did you read it? What did it say? Everyone in this building, I told you. Every time you pass by this building, take a good look. End to end, from the rock where I sit, every unit to the corner. I can still hear them. They think I can't hear them. Where are they going to go? Who are they going to turn into? You saw me record the trash this morning, recording me on his phone, right? Every day they're going to go over why, who they are. They're going to look at themselves and tell each other why. They're going to remember they lived here before I got here and moved in, right? So you can't be calling my name garbage. That's what these are for. So every day you'll go unit by unit and you can have discussions with each other and realize what your life is. I told you. You bored? You have nothing to do with yourselves? Something must be the problem here. Okay, more ways to show them what it's like being a victim of financial abuse. How else can we show Malton? What can we take? What can we do? Say no when they want food from you. Say no when they want to come have a meal at your house. Stop the food banks. Stop the churches from offering free food. To who? Everybody? Or just the homeless? So how are they going to tell if people are just going in there because they're lazy and they want free things? Well, the food bank wouldn't have ran out, right? If everybody wasn't going. Do you remember all those years when they ran out of food? So how much is a turkey now if you have to buy a turkey? The last time I bought a turkey, I went all the way to Walmart because it was like $9, right? And I brought it on the bus. So depending on your family, Freshco, I couldn't afford a turkey from there. So I ended up going to Walmart. And lucky for me, they had one. So how much do you usually pay for a turkey for your family if you make Thanksgiving dinner? What happens when you go to the thing? What do they do about the drumsticks? Do they just randomly give it to somebody? They don't give it at all? I just wondered. One of these days, they're going to get too poor when every piece of clothing they have. You see these men just walking around in their underwear. You're going to find out. You're going to know why. Yeah. Reality. For all the men, how do you get your hair braided? For all the men that braid their hair, you pay for it or you know somebody who does it? Yeah, fun things. Why? Is it the same for the women? Okay, let me hear then. You get into how much if you want. Let me know. I wouldn't know that. Why? Why is it funny? It's not money? Which one? If I had to? Do you understand that? Why is that funny to you? About my hair? Go, let me hear this one. What you think the difference is? If you had to what? Comb it, wash it, style it? Let me hear which one. How long? Go, let me hear. Yeah, do you understand that one now? If you had to wait for somebody else, like your mother or father, to do it? Everybody. Which one? How lucky you are if you're bald? Do you know how your hair falls out? Why people go bald, first of all? Because? Why do you think your hair falls out? Well, what happens to women when they have thinning hair? It's the same with men. Why do you think that your hair falls out? Have you ever noticed when you comb your hair, brush your hair? Does hair fall out when you wash your hair? You never notice? You just start paying attention and see. That's how you know the difference. When it's stress, stress used to make my hair fall out. That's how I know the difference, because I know what's normal and what's not normal for my hair to be falling out. Jeez. How do you groom your body hair? What is wrong with you? No, I'd like to see these men. It has to be a man. What else could it be? Well, I want to hear how many of the men groom their body hair, how many of them wax. It's called manscaping. How many of you manscape? The same as women. How many of you wax? All the men, all. They wanted to talk, so whose choice is it? Your choice or your girlfriend's choice if you manscape? If. What's funny? To go by age, by gender? Which one? Who taught you? What you know? What you think is correct? Which one? You can see. Do you know why you have pubic hair? Do you know what its function is? This is why I said they need to start teaching it back in schools. Simple education they don't have. What do you think is going to happen to them? Why do you think they're getting pregnant? Nobody's laughing. Who is teaching them? Simple. When you ask certain questions, somebody should be teaching you the proper, actual names and body parts. That's not funny. They're walking around teenagers and they think what? Well, I'm not making this up. Some people will go look it up after. This is why the children have no respect for the adults? Is it? I'm not taking advice from someone who didn't graduate high school. LOL. Well, I didn't get pregnant, so I have that going for me. It's funny, right? They can say whatever they want to me, but I can't say nothing back. They get revenge. Oh, so you're shaming young moms. Wow, Amy, you're so unbecoming of you. Yeah, I'm shaming young moms. Why didn't you use a condom? Young moms means what? You're married to the guy? You're a single mother? Why shouldn't I shame you then? What are you doing telling me about what? What's a young mom under what? What's considered a young mom? The age. Well, what's a young mom? Under 19? Why are you laughing? Amy, don't be bitter and angry because you will never experience the miracle of childbirth, which we all know is every woman's dream. How many are husbands? I'm not going to get into it. Do you know what Kegel exercises are? Why do you do Kegel exercises after you have a baby? Because how does the baby come out? Out of where? And do you think it just goes back to size, normal? You asked. How does everybody think they were born? Well, some people have an option now, right? C-section. That's where they take it out of your stomach. They cut you open and take the baby out. It's a surgery instead of you having it naturally, the natural way. So I don't know what now is normal. Yeah, how about if I told the men to ask their mothers if they got stitched up after they were born? Would that be too mean and gross? Let's take a good look at your heads. Everybody, go look in the mirror at your head. Yeah. Now imagine your mother. Your big head had to come out of her. Now look at your friends. Now you have something to make fun of them about. I told you one of these days. They go to the youth hub tomorrow. You said I didn't hit no one, right? That I can't hit no one? I told you I don't need to hit anyone. I don't need a gun. I just have to see you. We don't want to mention the creature? My head is full of hair. That's why it's so big, right? Good. No, don't look at people. And you can't see the size of their head. You have to look down when you walk. Are you going to hit someone at the youth hub? If I went to the youth hub, I saw the video. Should I go over their heads first? Do you remember that video with the youth hub? How do you think I know about it? Do you remember me telling you that's the same guy, the community center I have the business card for, the manager? Mm-hmm. And what did it say? Who runs the youth hub? The manager? So which one is too late to be me? You understand, I was in the community center when I went and asked her for the card, right? She gave me the card and told me to talk to him, to go see the rooms, the same rooms to rent. Oh. No, I enjoy. Amy, what kind of drugs are you on right now so I can tell the police? Like I said, you guys are disgusting. I want to be the one to teach you. The youth hub right now, right? Canadian mental health. They're teaching what? How many weeks? Classes on what? CBT? Cognitive behavioral therapy. This is the youth hub, your children. You sitting here looking at me? Yeah, let's go over. Every time we see men going into the library now to go take a shower, should we make fun of them? Every time we see people going to the food bank for being poor, when you see someone wearing the same jeans, should we make fun of them, the same coat? Well, I want to catch up to you guys. Do we say it out loud, scream it out loud, if we can't text our phone? Money and narcissists was the topic. Awfully quiet, isn't it? Compared to other days. Who has control of your money? You do? Okay, what about the childcare benefits? Do parents have control of it? Do they deposit it in their account, or do you have an account they put it in? Do you have control of your money? Well, it depends on the age of the child, right? But it's up to what, 19, 18? So I think they're considered adults. They would, some of them, be able to spend it, right? So fair is fair. I'm asking. Well, if they're teaching in school and parents are trying to teach their children financial skills, right? Number one, maybe they should have a bank account. where they can manage their own money. Good idea, right? Their own bank account where they have like put savings, learn to spend their own money, have a limit, things like that, if they're teaching financial skills in school. So, what better way than the childcare benefit, right? That's already their money they're getting. Yeah, did we save some, put some away? Some kids already know this before they started school. That's how you know how old and how long. Well before. Lots of the kids knew this. Why shouldn't they laugh? Why shouldn't they enjoy it? That's how they'll learn. They can budget their own money, right? So by the time they're adults, they don't need a credit card because they know how to budget their actual cash. They don't need credit. Do you understand that benefit for them? If they start now and they learn how to save, because when they get a job, that's, income. The childcare benefit is just play money, right? Practice money, whatever you want to call it, to take care of their needs. So when should you teach them if this isn't the perfect time? Well, they raised it for what? You weren't getting enough, right? To take care of their food, their clothes, whichever. We're talking about financial abuse, narcissists, and money. Some parents are narcissists. We can't lie. They will spend it for themselves. They won't even give it to the kid. Nobody's lying here. A narcissist is a narcissist. If they can get away with it. Like when they had the school breakfast program. Why is the school paying for your kid's breakfast? If they had a lunch program, they wanted everything paid for. So what are you paying for? Just their dinner? Then what does the child care benefit pay for? If the child care benefit is paying for all their food and clothes, what are the parents paying for the kid? You don't give the child benefit money to the child. You use it to pay for things your child needs, says you. Do you ever have anything positive to say? Yeah. If you teach children to take care of themselves, then they're not codependent adults attached to other people, right? Trying to get a room with anybody anywhere because they can't afford anything else. They have more sense, right? You don't buy the things they need when you can teach them how to spend it. It depends if you're a narcissist or not. Do I ever say anything positive? I'm a single female living in my own apartment after a whole life of narcissists. You know what you can do. I don't have to repeat it. You don't give the child benefit money to the child. You use it to pay for things your child needs. If that's a narcissist, do you? The worst? The kid will never see anything. The parent will say, I give you food and I buy you clothes. The worst. I don't want to imagine the worst. I just told you there's an alcohol store and drugs in Malton. You want me to actually sit here and tell you the worst I think of? Why don't you go over how much it is a month again? The child care benefit. Well, what age do you think your kids should have their own bank account? Or even if your kids watching are teenagers, what age do you think you should have your own bank account? Why not? Everybody's allowed to talk. Why shouldn't the kids answer? How do they buy ice cream? You buy it from the ice cream truck? What did they do all summer? That's the same thing I was talking about, right? If your kid has $5 and you teach them the ice cream truck is how much for an ice cream, and then you take them to Dollarama, do you think they'd still spend the money on an ice cream for $3 if they understood what they could get at Dollarama for the same five? In reality, do you think they'd still buy the ice cream from the ice cream truck? Or they'd choose to go to Dollarama? What am I yapping about? I'm yapping about your kids in Malton when I go to the Dollarama and I see them in there. That's what I'm yapping about. All the things I see them looking at, all the arts and crafts and the toys, all the different aisles, all the food and snacks. That's what I'm yapping about. When your kids are in there with me, when I'm looking for decorations and balloons and kitchen accessories like plates and cups. That's what I'm yapping about. What are you on about today? Where do your kids go shopping? Where do you take them? Where do you take them to buy toys, your kids? To where, Walmart? Where else can you get toys? You went on about the plastics and what they're doing to your kids, and they can't use all these toys because they're going to poison them. So, where do you buy toys for your kids now that are safe for them? What age do your kids stop buying toys? What age do they stop playing with toys? I guess you could say they wanted a phone. Is that the easiest way? Or a tablet? Because remember COVID, they had tablets, right, for school. So maybe they were used to those and they had to untrain them to use the tablets. Remember actual writing? You can't learn actual handwriting if you're using a tablet all day. Maybe you weren't there for that, but during COVID, after COVID, when you were trying to get them to which one? Go back to school, stay home from school? Okay, let's go over it quickly. If they're using a tab, how are they learning handwriting? How are they practicing handwriting if they were using a tab? Computers. Yeah, you're supposed to know how to write, right? Handwriting is a skill. Writing. Why do you go to school if you don't know how to write? You're supposed to learn writing, right? Wow. Got stuck on something. Did you just click in? What happened? So how old were they using tabs for COVID when they were in school? If they did online, that was Zoom, right? If they did online learning, what year did they start online? If what, you're right here in Malton? Well, where else would I went over the ages? Little kids, how old? Do you remember? Actually remember? Yeah, we're all going to plan our Thanksgiving lists. Well, see, if you get ODSP once a month like me, then I got to plan now, right? Because I'm only going to get it once, October, when is Thanksgiving. So I have to make sure I plan it and buy everything this month. There is no other months left, so. Yeah, it's not funny. Would you want to throw a potluck dinner? When I had the inspection, do you understand this again? Actually, legally, so I could make food in the kitchen of this apartment. You did what? Now you're asking me about a potluck? Okay, let's go over the rooms in the community center. A potluck, if I rented one. A potluck is where everybody brings something they cook, a different dish, and then you put them all and everybody takes what they want. You bring whatever you make, everybody brings something different, and then you all have a dinner. That's what a potluck is. The luck of the draw, whatever the person brings. Yeah, potluck. Got it? If you all bring soup, then you just eat 12 kinds of soup. If you all bring rice, then you all sit and eat rice for the night. Luck of the potluck. To cut the ham. What if you just went and bought those packages of ham slices and took it to a Thanksgiving potluck? You know those plastic packages that you make sandwiches with, the cold cuts? Nothing would be wrong with it. That's what I use for pizza. It depends. What kind of slices do you get? Big, huge ones, square ones, round ones, flower shaped? I'm a bad person. I don't eat goat. No matter what you do to it. It depends. Have you ever cooked it? Smelt it cooking? Well, it goes back to certain people, right? When your parents cook certain things, why you don't like it, can't eat it. Is it not true? Why you like certain things, the smell of certain things, why you crave it? It works both ways for me. Have you ever cooked pig feet? And what do they smell like? Have you ever cooked fish? What does that smell like? What about onions and garlic? What does that smell like? Do you know where eggs come from? They don't lay themselves. I'm a fake Trini. Oh, that's real good. Now I want to hear what that means, a fake Trini. I told you how many times I was born in Canada. I'm 46 years old. What's a fake Trini? I'm going to sit here and wait. Have you ever heard the Nicki Minaj song about Trini? Well, isn't she From Trinidad, Nicki Minaj. We went over this too when you were going on about color and where you're from and why it matters. Yeah, do you remember telling me I can't listen to what music? So if Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Foxy Brown, we're all from Trinidad, and I can't listen to them, female rappers, who should I listen to? No, it didn't make sense. Who's supposed to buy their music then? How do they sell albums? To who? Kind of works like that for all music. You should listen to Stompin' Tom Connors since you think you're Canadian. That was real good. I bet I know a couple of songs because, like a real Canadian, if you watch TV, you heard all the ads and songs, and that's how you know them, right? Well, how do I know his name? Stompin' Tom Connors. Oh, good. Let me hear how I know that name. If what? Okay, why don't you explain to him what he is? What does he do? Stompin' Tom Connors there. So we can play a mystery game. Yeah, she just typed it, or he just typed it. That's the clue. So how do you know what it is if you just typed it? Stompin' Tom Connors. Go explain to everybody how you know what it is, what he is. You know his name because I just wrote it. Go explain. What is he? Go. Let's hear. What is he? A singer? He makes music. He did the hockey song and the ketchup and potato songs. Well, I know Peanut Butter and Jelly from the Malton Arena. We learned that song. We learned about the baby bumblebee. They didn't make it. Never mind. Have you? Did you ever go to the Malton Arena? Mm-hmm. So which one? The bumble. Why are you teaching that to children? Did it? Mm-hmm. Now peanut butter and jelly. You can't even eat peanut butter because if kids have allergies, you can't take it to schools, right? That's why you can't take it to schools because of allergies. Yeah, you can go look up after what your peanut allergies started. When I was little, when you were little, if you're over what 30, when you went to school, did you ever anybody ever have a peanut allergy in your class? What's the year you remember? Kids started being allergic to peanuts. Michael Jackson. Go over his whole history. Jackson 5. Who's his manager? His father, right? Joe Jackson? So if his whole life he was the breadwinner, yeah, real quickly. His sister, his whole Jackson 5, the whole band. If you go over the whole family, you what? Start again, try again. Well, if you look at it like he never had a childhood, does Neverland Ranch make more sense when he got the money? He made his own amusement park? Is it as sick now when you look at it that way? They took his childhood. He was how old in Jackson 5? So when he grew up and he got money, he made his own house and he made his own playground, basically. He had whatever he wanted in his house. It depends how you look at it, right? Why is that? If you look into how he died. Why did they keep giving him more? Because he kept asking? And what was it they were giving him? Yeah, right before. How? Nobody is. If you look into which one. There's too many stories and too many years. If he was already past, if really, are you joking? You want to go over what? If people lied after he was dead, then what? Where did he learn to dance? From Janet Jackson? Who taught who to dance? Okay, I'm going to leave the live stream for here. You work on who taught who to dance, if Michael Jackson taught Janet Jackson or Janet Jackson taught Michael Jackson to dance. And we'll continue this next time. Enjoy night, Malton. Amy Seukeran, Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Life Coach.